Record of Ragnarok is the kind of anime where you only need one sentence to sell it. Gods versus humans. That's it. No complicated explanations, no insane world building, no 300 chapters of setup, just 13 gods fighting 13 humans, and whoever wins 7 matches decides the fate of humanity. That alone is enough to make most people click. And yeah, I'll give Record of Ragnarok credit for that. The premise is cool as hell, but here's the thing. In a battle tournament anime, the premise is just the hook, and Record of Ragnarok throws out an amazing hook. It catches a lot of people. It caught me too, but catching attention is not the same as keeping it. For an anime like this, what actually keeps people watching isn't deep philosophy or layered storytelling. It's the fights. The combat has to hit. The action has to feel good. If the animation is great, perfect. If it's just decent, that's still fine. Everything else is optional. As long as the fights are hype, people will forgive almost anything. And somehow, Record of Ragnarok fails at even that bare minimum. It wastes an insanely strong idea. But before I go full rant mode, I'll admit this. The series does have strengths. Record of Ragnarok uses one of the oldest but most effective tropes in fiction: humans standing up against gods. Watching an ordinary human punch a supreme deity in the face sounds ridiculous, but it feels amazing. The manga handles that idea pretty well, and the anime at least keeps that core concept intact. And it doesn't stop at humans versus gods. It leans heavily into cultural crossover: Norse mythology, Greek mythology, Japanese history, Chinese legends, Indian lore. Basically, no matter where you're from, there's probably someone in this roster you can root for. Three Kingdoms fan, you get Liu Biu. Western audiences, Thor. Japan, Sasaki Kojiro. From a marketing standpoint, this is a killer move. Thor versus Lu Bu. Who's stronger? That single question can keep people arguing online for hours, positive or negative. It's still free promotion. The one-on-one tournament format also helps a lot. It's simple, it's clean, it's easy to follow. You can skip a match you don't care about and still understand the next one. Every fight has its own beginning, climax, and ending. Every match introduces a new character with a brand new backstory. You're not stuck following the same protagonist for hundreds of chapters. On paper, this is almost a perfect setup for a commercially successful battle anime. The problem is, Record of Ragnarok just doesn't execute it well. The issues start right at the beginning. The gods gather, they vote, they unanimously decide to wipe out humanity. Deal done. Then Brunhilde shows up and starts trash-talking them like, "What? Are you scared of losing to humans?" And suddenly, these supreme beings who literally just agreed to erase humanity change their minds because they got taunted. I'm sorry, but that's kind of ridiculous. Especially when some gods clearly care about humans, like Buddha. A proper debate among the gods, leading to a law that allows humans to fight for survival, would have felt way more natural. Instead, we get a Valkyrie interrupting a supposedly divine god-tier meeting and completely killing the sense of authority. Then there's the power system. What exactly makes these humans strong? Lu Bu, Adam, Sasaki Kojiro, Jack the Ripper, Raiden, Buddha, Qin Shi Huang, Tesla, Leonidas. Strong in what sense? The anime never gives a clear answer. No real metric, no consistent logic, no explanation for why these people were chosen instead of Alexander the Great or Genghis Khan. Fans will say strength doesn't matter, that each fighter represents a different aspect of humanity. Lu Bu is peak martial might. Adam is infinite human potential. Sasaki is growth through failure. Jack is humanity's darkness and deception. Thematically, that sounds great, but here's the problem. When you see a poster of Thor facing Lu Bu, what's the first thing you think? Who's stronger? That question is natural, and the anime constantly pushes you to ask it. But the outcomes don't come from strategy or logic. They come from whatever the author wants to say thematically. Sasaki wins because the one who keeps learning eventually wins. Jack wins because the story wants to question what true evil really is. Abilities are explained just enough to avoid being called plot armor, but never enough to feel solid. Adam copies abilities because he was made in God's image. Sounds cool, but God doesn't exactly have a documented fighting style, does he? No explanation, just accept it. And without clear rules, you can't analyze the fights. No rules means no tension. When surprises come from author decisions, not battle logic, the hype disappears. On top of that, almost every fight follows the exact same structure. Almost every fight follows the exact same structure. Entrance, announcer hype, crowd reaction, clash. Humans start losing because gods. Flashbacks kick in, tragic pasts, unfulfilled dreams, back to the present, hidden potential unlocked, power up, final clash. One fighter dies. After 3 fights, you can predict not just the structure, but the timing. Formula isn't the issue. Execution is. In One Piece, you know Luffy will win, but you don't know how. In Record of Ragnarok, you often know how. The only mystery is who, and that choice belongs entirely to the author. And honestly, I'm willing to forgive all of that. I really am, but only under one condition. The fights have to look good, and they don't. The combat animation is bad. This is a battle anime. Animation is everything. You cannot adapt a fight-focused manga and present it like a PowerPoint slideshow, but that's exactly what happened. Static frames, stiff characters, camera pans, zooms, speed lines, reaction shots. Lu Bu versus Thor lasts 4 episodes, but if you count actual movement, you get maybe a few minutes. When viewers have to imagine motion because nothing is moving, you have to ask, why even make it an anime? Battle anime needs Sakuga. Those moments people clip, edit, and share everywhere. So ask yourself honestly, how many true Sakuga moments does Record of Ragnarok have? A few. Not enough. Put it next to Demon Slayer and the problem becomes obvious. Demon Slayer's manga wasn't special. The anime made it a phenomenon. Record of Ragnarok had the perfect chance to do the same, and it missed. Netflix improved things later, but a bit isn't enough to fix fundamental problems, because when a battle anime makes you feel bored during fights, that's not just disappointing, that's unforgivable.